There's been much brouhaha as it relates to the situation where the town clerk made a decision to not remove permanently but temporarily halt sales in Rob Street for the cleansing of the area. The town clerk came in for much criticism, and the mayor, Patricia Chase Green, defended him. Now, the Minister of Communities, Mr. Ronald Bulkan, has added his voice, stating that the town clerk's actions were illegal. Madam Mayor, what have you to say in defense?
In my defense, I will quote Chapter 2801, which states street sellers' bylaws. And Section 2 of those bylaws quite clearly states, it shall not be lawful for any person to sell foodstuff or provisions on the streets, road, public places, or public market unless they are duly licensed at the office of the town clerk. What happened a few weeks ago is there was not a removal of the vendors, because this thing has been blown out of proportion. The town clerk visited with the clerk of market and other officers and realized that the Rob Street, Alexander area was in the most unsanitary condition. The clerk of markets and the town clerk, under the street sellers bylaws, has the authority to suspend selling and clean the place, because it is clearly said in the Public Health Chapter 145 that there should be no food offered for sale unless it is like 18 inches off of the ground. You had people having old cloth, old rice bag, flat on the roadway in a rainy day where they were offering foods for sale. And what was found there is that they were sprinkling their goods with water from you don't know where. In the interest of the health of the nation, the town clerk and the clerk of markets and officers acted in the best interest. And I still stand by supporting the town clerk on his interests under the street sellers bylaws. It's quite clear. Most of those vendors are not licensed by the town clerk. They do not have their public health certificate. And if you go on to read, this is every 3 months. Licenses should only be issued to those applicants who present a certificate of good health from a medical practitioner who shall have performed his examination within the previous 3 months. The license shall be renewed annually within the month of January. So the town clerk did not act outside of the law. It's clear on the street sellers. There's a particular law under 2801 that speaks of street sellers. And so the town clerk was acting within his right, and I still support the town clerk. I respected the views of the minister. I want that to be quite clear. But apparently the minister did not read this section of the law where those persons ought to be licensed by the town clerk. And they weren't removed. They were asked to suspend their selling temporarily until the place was cleaned. Nobody has gone back there since it was cleared to see the sanitary conditions that exist there now. Nobody has gone back after it was cleared by them with the assistance of the fire service to wash the street and to wash the drains. And so, I mean, we're not getting the response after the town clerk would have taken that decision.
The other part of it is that the minister expressed concern about the fact that the town clerk claimed that the town clerk could act without the permission of the council and inform the council after if the need arises, stating therefore that the town clerk needed to inform the council first of his proposed action. Is that correct?
In not all circumstances. When you look at rates and taxes for those persons who do not pay their rates on time, and the town clerk needs to carry those persons to court, he can carry the persons to court and then inform the council. So it's not in all cases he has to inform the council on actions taken by him. There's other cases where he can do emergency works and then inform the council that emergency works has been done. So the law is quite clear.